So before we start, people always ask, it's Project Brotherhood, the Black Men's Clinic. Why do you have a Black Men's Clinic? Well, I'll tell you a story. There was an African-American young man about the age of 19 who had suffered from tachycardia. He had a person in his family who was a medical provider, who was actually a doctor. Tachycardia is like an irregular heartbeat. It beats real fast. It can lead to serious causes, and sometimes it can. You have to get it controlled. So at 19, he had an episode. He went to a public health system in Chicago that serviced all types of people. Chicago's a big city. When he walked in, there was a line. So he had to wait about an hour. All different types of languages, all different types of people. So imagine how the clerk was. You have to deal with translations and all that. So he waited about an hour. After a long wait, they said, okay, you got a cardiology appointment, go upstairs to the 3rd floor. That's it. Nobody walked him up there, nobody told him what to do. 19-year-old boy. Goes upstairs, another line. So he's sitting up there with people a little bit more mature, who are older than him, people seniors who usually have heart conditions. So he's sitting there, you know, he's nervous, he's thinking, what am I going to do now? He waits another hour. So he waited approximately 2 hours, 2.5 hours before he saw a medical provider. When he saw that medical provider, the doctor didn't look like him, didn't talk like him, didn't sound like him, didn't even try to understand him. He stayed in the room a total of 15 minutes, 10 by himself, 5 with the doctor. 19-year-old black boy in college. The doctor said, don't drink. He didn't ask him, this is what he said. Don't drink, don't smoke, don't have sex, and don't exercise. The young man was coming home for a summer break. He then left the hospital. Remember I told you, his mother was a medical provider. There's 2 parts to the story. He was familiar with the hospital, so after hearing this news, he was distraught. You can imagine being 19, you know, don't play sports, don't have sex. He's thinking like, am I gonna die? So he's teary-eyed. This is in the 80s, so he has one of those Walkman. He's coming out with his headphones. Security stops him. Security says, can I help you? He says no. Now he might have said it with an attitude, who knows? But he said no. Security got mad, got upset. This is Chicago. So our hospital police carry 9mm. They carry guns, they don't play. So they started arguing. I don't know how to argue. When he's walking down the hallway to the exit, security calls backup. As soon as he steps out the door, he's thrown against the wall, handcuffed, tears in his eyes, taken to the little hospital police station. He's not answering questions, he's not talking to the police. He's thinking, damn, I'm about to die. So he has things on his mind. The sergeant, or the captain, I'm not sure, but the head police guy, after they searched him, found a cardiology pass. Called cardiologist and said, was he a patient? And figured out, if this 19-year-old boy went to see a cardiologist, he had other issues going on, so let's not take him to jail. It was a smart officer. What's the chances of that black man ever going back to see the doctor? I'll tell you the second part of the story in a second. I'm going to tell you parts of the story. Now that man, the 19-year-old boy, was 36. At the age of 36, he was complaining of chest pains. He drove himself to the doctor. This time he had health insurance. He drove himself to a prominent hospital. He drove himself to University of Chicago Hospital. Just put it out there. Walked in and said, I'm complaining of chest pains, I can't breathe. We have tachycardia, you slide, we do other things. And he said, he walked into the triage nurse. He didn't look like it, didn't sound like it. So I had a form of tachycardia. My mother's a medical provider. Here's the phone, she can explain it. Well, in the phone, he didn't have a doctor or whatever. He said, Mom. She said, this ain't a doctor, this is your mother. Threw the phone down at the end of the table. The man could barely breathe. He said something smart. I'm sure he did. He was profanity. She called security. Security started harassing him. It took him a while to catch his breath. He just got on the left. His mother called his mother and said, I'm leaving. I just died in the car. His mother, his wife, and some family friends were on the way. He said, no, go back in there and just walk to the back. The gentleman walked to the back, saw a nurse and passed out. He was awaited like getting pulled by his sweatshirt. He was choking him. He's on the floor. The security picked him up, picked him up by his neck, picked him up by his feet, put him in a wheelchair. I think it was like 10 below, it's freezing that day. He rolled him and said, get your ass out of here now. And basically rolled him out in front of the emergency room and left him for dead. We don't know how long he was out there. His His family came in, they forced him to go back inside. Turns out the gentleman was having a heart attack. Now this is the same 19-year-old boy who had a bad experience. Remember, his mother's a medical provider. He's not stupid. Had a bad experience. Didn't go back. Had a heart attack at 36. And during that procedure, I think he had a, what's that called? Cook, where they see if you need a stick.
For your heart disease? No, the procedure?
Yeah.
Oh, angiogram.
Angiogram. You know, that's the procedure. So imagine being 36. That happened. But even though he had health insurance, who did he trust? Who was his follow-up candidate? Project Brotherhood.